Welcome, race fans. I'm back. Jimmy's back, baby. It's pit road speed limit racing here tonight in the next gen cars at Richmond Raceway. It's a 0.72 mile track. It's a little warm outside. It's 101 degrees and track temperature, or excuse me, it's 76 degrees. Track temps at 101 degrees, so not too bad, I guess, as far as Richmond weather is concerned here. But yeah, I was gone for just a short little while, but just to take my family on a quick vacation over to the sunny side of Florida, over at Orlando, for some good fun with the Halloween Horror Nights. So if you guys never been, I highly recommend if you like that that time of year. So there's a lot of fun hanging out with the family. But tonight we are going to be, like I said, here with the pit road speed limit racing in the next gen cars. Right now they're currently out there getting ready to qualify. I'm sure they got that 10-minute timer up there, but they never need 10 minutes to get qualifying done. So we'll get these this overlay down and we'll see where everybody's going. I'll go ahead and give you a quick flash of how everybody is doing out there as far as their times and where they stand here for this evening. So right now looks like it's going to be Cody Brewer at the moment in the number 12, taking the provisional pole with a 21.583. Pretty good time there for Cody as we're working this down to the end. Only a few more races here for the season for pit road speed limit racing, so they will be definitely looking to wrap things up here shortly and see who's going to be your championship winner here. And matter of fact, let me take a look at their Discord here and see if I can find the point standings, which I believe are here somewhere. I know I've seen it. I go on vacation and I forget where some stuff's at. It's what happens when you leave and take a break and just forget about everything and anything except yourself and your family for a short time being. But we are back in action here. We are hot and heavy here at CRN. Obviously, plenty of things going on. Haha! I found the standings, I think. They were last updated on the 24th, so this should be it. So it looks like Dylan Emerson is out front here right now with Thomas with 477 points. Thomas O'Connor in second with 441 points, and Kyle Emerson's in third with 408. Then you got Matthew Hake with 405, Dylan Jacobs with 397, Tiffany Ellis with 378, and then Richard Covington with 355, TJ Hanley with 353, Cody Handler with 344, and Anthony Emerson for round out your top 10 in points. But you can see Emerson trying to sneak in there, maybe get a good points night now, taking the provisional pole, as we still have just a little bit of more time before they advance the session here. But getting up there with a 21.394, almost 0.2, tenth and a half faster than Thomas O'Connor. So it's going to be a good night here. Thomas O'Connor looking to make up that deficit in points over Dylan Emerson, but Dylan Emerson now back out front, so your points leader on the pole here so far tonight. So it's going to be a your 1 and 2 in points, or 1 and 2 here. Session has been advanced, and where they're getting ready to go racing here. We're going to start this thing here as soon as possible. So we'll go ahead and bring up we'll figure out this. Well, we already got them up. Anyways, it's going to be, like I said, on top for the pole. It's going to be, come on, Billy. Dylan Emerson has the pole, and then Thomas O'Connor there in P number 2. Cody Brewer is in third. Richard Covington Jr. in fourth. Dylan Jacobs in fifth. Josh Duncan in sixth. Kyle Emerson in seventh. Kent Bice in eighth. And ninth is Austin Wells. Bruce Spencer is in P number 10. Anthony Emerson back there in 11th. Tiffany Ellis comes in 12th to start this evening off. Alec Olwano back there in 13th. Cody Handler back in 14th. Ron Malone back there in 15th. Will O'Connor in 16th. Chase Bullard back there in 17th. Kelly Akron's in 18th. Matthew Hakes in 19th. So 19 drivers here at Richmond. I think it's a nice, solid number for what to me is too short of a track. But nor here nor there. I'm not driving. I'm in the booth. We're going to give you live action here for these drivers here tonight. I'll be joined here shortly by Carl Handwerk as he's finishing up a great race by CSRL. They're at Le Mans for a nice solid 45-minute run, and there were some close battles there all night long. But we're going to see the close battle in here all night long with these drivers here at the pit road speed limit racing. So we'll go ahead and clear some of this stuff out. We'll bring up some race info. We'll get the ticker going here because that's always good. We'll go ahead and change some of this stuff here. Let's look at the car number, and we'll put the gap, and then we'll hide it temporarily until we really, really need it. We're getting ready to go on a green where it looks like the lights are coming out. Dylan Emerson down there on the inside, and that a nice green gain machine. And outside, number 21 cookie machine, the Chips Ahoy. Man, you guys are making me hungry, and I have to do my laundry. You guys do it to me every week. Great liveries on these cars each and every week. I love it as you guys keep things fresh. But pace cars lights are out. They're getting ready to get going here at green. Go ahead and bring up the track map so you can see where they're at. They're coming into turn number 3 right now. And you can see the track is not quite an oval. As it has a slightly larger front stretch there. Kind of nice sweeping left arch there. But they're going to get on the loud pedal, get things started. Nice start by Dylan Emerson. Real good jump there. Allows himself to get out to the lead there and the 12 car. But we already got a car going around sideways, and he catches it. That would have been, looks like, I think that was Josh Duncan getting a little bit loose there as we still going green here. So nice catch there by Duncan to keep things going, and you know, plenty of race here. We've got 120 laps. We're only on lap number 2, so everybody really gets antsy here. And these short tracks can really take their toll some driver, but 5 goes down to the inside as they wreck, and the first caution of the night will come out here on lap number 2. It's going to involve Dylan Jacobs in the 5 car and the 1 car of Kent Weiss. So some damage there, pretty heavy damage there on the number 1 car. We'll go ahead and catch what happened here. You can see what's going on here. The 5 staying low and just gets a little bit loose right there and trying to check up to catch it. And the 60 misses, but the 1 coming down to avoid, nowhere to go. Gets into the 5, ends up hitting the wall, taking the brunt of that from the 5. So probably saving the 5 a fast repair here early. But that 1 took a massive hit. They're holding down their brakes there, down there, and it's a tough thing to do this early on in the race, but always the best thing to do so you can continue going on here for the evening. So, you know, lap number 2, caution number 1. Now on lap number 4, though, but Dylan Emerson is going to go ahead and stay out there with Cody Brewer. I don't know if anybody came in. We did have a few come in. Emerson, Millam, O'Connor, and Jacobs all coming in the pit lane. Shorter track here tonight, so always in that danger zone of possibly going a lap down. But yeah, but I also want to right now, while I got the chance and we're under caution, and like always, want to give a huge shout out to everybody out there in attendance. Haley Emerson, thank you for being here tonight. Barry and everybody else. If you guys got favorite drivers, whoever you're rooting for, slap in the chat. I'll get to do my best to get some well-deserved camera time for each and every driver, and especially for those who have family members out there really curious about where their driver might be tonight. But dang, these cars are looking good tonight. Just something about these cars, and when the lights come out, and some of these paint schemes just really kind of pop here tonight. So everybody looking good. Look good, or look fast, go fast, as they say. So definitely have some fast looking machines out there tonight. Try to get around to looking at some of the cars out there and see what everybody's rocking. There's Kelly Akron with the chrome number 20. And it seems to be his go-to in most races that I've seen Kelly in. But definitely always good to see a chrome car out there. A Pokemon car out there. You know, somebody's got to catch them all, and I think Cody's trying to do that And he's going to try to do that mid-pack there. In that middle pack there, obviously one of the most exciting places on the track. Definitely need talent to be there. You know, it's just really tough driving. Got a shout out there for the 43 car of Bruce Spencer. We'll go ahead and take a look there at that Raven car. I think this had Raven. Was it Raven on it? Yeah, Raven. Definitely a good looking car. I like the color scheme and that maroon. A little bit of gold on there. Pop makes up pop really good. Maybe a suggestion, maybe a gold highlight on the outline of the Raven would really make that thing pop out on the side. But we're back underneath the green here, lap number 7, and Dylan Emerson heads out to the front here yet again with a nice good start. So we're going good here. We're too wide through the back of the field, a little bit of banging on the wall, but that's Richmond, baby. Back up front here with the number 60 of Emerson. We'll hop on top, see what he's looking at as he's sitting in P number 4, trying to chase down these top 3. And, you know, obviously with the amount of laps here and how rough this track can be in tight quarter racing, you know, you got to take your time. But another caution comes out as it looks like Tiffany Ellis and Josh Duncan get involved in one here. And we'll go back and catch to see what happened to those two drivers. So looking above 3 wide, almost 4 wide, as Tiffany Ellis on the outside coming down, the 7 drifting up, both contact into each other, spins Tiffany Ellis for a ride. She's going to go ahead, tag that wall with the right rear and the right front, so some pretty deep, probably decent damage on that car. 7 hits on the right side, stuck up against the wall there. Still drifting. Everybody doing a pretty decent job. Oh, Dylan Jacobs not avoiding the traffic here tonight. Snags Tiffany Ellis there right at the end. So definitely a tough break there for Dylan. And Dylan was saying in the chat tonight that he didn't have a really good feeling about tonight. So I mean, I would go with what Tony says. You're going to do great. But, you know, he's needs to avoid some of those incidents here. Maybe he can get that car fixed and get it back going again. But another caution here flies as the drivers here continue to make decisions now. And now with a few cautions kind of out and about here for the evening, you know, you got when you're out there driving, you start thinking about, well, should I come in? Should I sacrifice my... you know, my track position? I'm sure the drivers up front, Dylan Emerson, Cody Brewer, are not thinking about giving up any kind of track position as all the incidents have happened behind them. But, you know, there's a point where sometimes these drivers that come in and get their repairs done, then they end up on newer tires, and they're substantially newer, and then they're faster than, you know, even a slower driver can become quite a bit faster than a fast driver. At least for a short spell with brand new tires. But maybe it's a little too early for that, but the lights are still on the pace car. We're coming out of turn number 2 here. We're on lap number 11. It's definitely going to be a good one and a challenge here. You know, obviously we know that a lot of the drivers here are still in that I don't want to call them new, like newbies, but like newish, or still learning their racecraft and learning to race together here. Been together for quite a few races this season, and they continue to come out here each and every week. So it's always great to see the drivers continue to come back, continue to race these cars that are no longer offered in the official capacity here at iRacing. But definitely one of my favorite cars. It was the go-to. As soon as I could get into this car when I started iRacing 5 years ago, this is where I wanted to be, and this is all the racing I wanted to do was in this Gen 6 car, and it was a blast for the short time that I got a chance to drive it. At least I had the chance to get a win with one, and I did get my one and only win in these cars was at a Talladega Super Speedway race in an open format with this open setup. So tons of fun. But lights are off in the pace car. Pace car is in. We're getting ready to complete lap number 12, start lap number 13. Once we get this thing back going under green, the 6 is back on the loud pedal, getting a nice jump there over the 21 and the 12 to lead this thing back off. And then we'll go back to the back of the field here. We'll go back, see how that number 13 Ally car is doing there of Matthew Hake. and just as he's working his way down on the inside. So it's really easy to overdrive this track, and that's why you got to be careful being on the outside of your competitors, especially maybe somebody that doesn't have the talent. There's a lot of kind of letting this car ride around the track. Nice move there by the 91, but the 91 really overdriving the corner there pretty high, getting high in the corner and almost taking on the wall. But another caution here flies as Kelly Akron has an issue here on lap number 14. We'll take a look at what happened to Kelly Akron here, and see he was down here on the inside, and it does look like just checked up, and then the car broke all by himself, locked it up, and touched the wall just a little bit, but enough to bring the caution out. So no harm, no foul, just a little bit too much power. These cars got quite a bit of power, and it's not too hard to spin these tires here at Richmond. Haley out there rooting on the 60, the 6, and the 42. Man, you have your hands full here tonight. Right now, the 60 is back there in 16th in the Pokemon car. As we mentioned earlier, the 6 is up front, leading this race in the gain machine. And the 42 of Anthony back here in 11. So got one pretty much everywhere in the field. So no matter where I'm looking, there should be an Emerson on the track. Has anybody thought about taking the pit lane yet? Let's see. Let's go click on pit lap here. See if anybody's come in yet. The only person people have come in, let's see, O'Connor, Anthony Emerson, Bice was in, Tiffany Ellis came in because she was involved in that incident, along with Kyle Emerson in the 60, Dylan Jacobs back there in 16th, and then Millum coming in, your latest taker there, the 91, coming in on lap number 15. Now, this is what I was talking about, and they don't have a lot of green flag laps yet, so these tires still should be in pretty good shape. They shouldn't lose too much time out there on the track or grip. So, and with it being nighttime and cooler, definitely a benefit for like a newer driver. I know anytime that I knew it was going to be nighttime and it was going to be cooler, that my tires weren't going to go as fast, and the next thing I know, I could stay out there and continue to have a good race. I always had a problem, and still do, managing some of the tire wear on these oval cars. And I don't know how some drivers are so good at saving tires. I could be behind somebody and follow the exact same line, and they would have 80% tire left, and I would have 50. It's ridiculous. But the lights are back off on the pace car. We're going back too wide here. And 6 is going to continue to lead this race here. He has the inside over Cody Brewer. And then Richard Covington, Austin Wells, Matthew Hake for your top 5. Pace car is in, getting ready to go back to green. Out of turn number 4. And the 6 will get on the loud pedal and head down the front stretch, crosses the start-finish line, down to turn number 1. With the lead. So Emerson with another great start here. We'll go back with Alec Lawano and see how he's doing in that number 16 machine. We'll hop on top here as we look forward here to see how he's doing here. He's down that inside, and some drivers like the inside. That way they know somebody can't get down underneath them and push up there. You can see the 54 going out to the outside, but another caution flies. This time again for the number 5 of Dylan Jacobs. Dylan Jacobs can't catch a break here tonight. Now we'll go back, we'll see what happened to 5, and gets a tag in the rear by the number 31. And we'll send them around one more time. Just maybe checking up a little faster than expected there for think that was a 31. Or was it? Who was that? No, that was a 91. My mistake. The 91 is who touched him. Maybe just checked up. Maybe Dylan just checked up just a little bit earlier than the 91 expected. Under caution again here tonight with the pit road speed limit racing. We got 21 laps in the bag. Still have a good almost 100 laps remaining here tonight to see who can walk away to victory here at Richmond. Obviously going to be an interesting one here. Short track racing is always super competitive, and I guess the biggest thing is knowing when to lift in order to get that car to rotate for these corners. Each corner being a little bit different. Obviously more speed can be carried down the front stretch, but it also starts turning, and I think coming out of 4 and 2, the car will go ahead and push to the wall, so you just gotta be careful. But it's super easy to overdrive the corner, and next thing you know, you're riding a wall or trying to check up for somebody that maybe is trying to pull back that braking point just a little bit to allow that car to rotate down through the inside. I think this time, let's see, who will we take a ride on for the restart of this one? We'll go back to, let's go with Kent. We'll hop on board in the car here and see how Kent makes up the beginning of this next restart. What else can I find for everybody out there? Discord's hiding on me. It's over here. Just trying to pull up the schedule. Remaining races this season. Here, I'll go get to that here shortly as the green flag is back out. We're on lap number 25 of 120. And you see we're right on board with Kent Bice as he's down that inside, giving plenty of room to the outside. You see the Jack Daniels machine tagging the wall just a little bit, but you can see how that car will drift in if you just get into the corner a little bit too hard. But gotta really let off the gas to rotate it through the corners, down the front stretch. Nice let off, let that car just drift, get the car going the way you want it to, get on the throttle nice and easy. Make sure you give room to the guy outside. Still down here in P number 10. So good run so far for Kent, riding around and very close to that top 10. Plenty of battles all over the track though as the drivers continue to try to figure it out here tonight. We're on lap number 27 of 120. Richard Covington is now your leader, and that number 21 Chips Ahoy machine. It does look like I'm missing something. Where is? Oh, yep, Emerson. The number 6 came in on lap number 21 and get some new tires. Oh, a little touch on the bumper, and 21 catches it though. Good save there by the number 21 and the 13 for checking up, keeping things clean and green. I'm sure apologies were exchanged there. Maybe friendly, maybe not. But the 12 trying to take jump on that bandwagon there as Cody Brewer's trying to use the outside. Does look like something happened to Tiffany Ellis, but we're still leaning green. So maybe just the sideways and the catch. We'll go ahead and check to see what happened to Tiffany here. Is checked up there, got a little wall, and wow, no caution for that. That's amazing. iRacing at its finest. we're still green here on lap number 30. A few drivers are having some issues, and they're going to have some issues trying to stay on the lead lap, but we're still green here. And Richard Covington out front in the 21 Chips Ahoy machine having a good run. So nice little start in the beginning of a nice little green flag run. Biggest move of the race so far is the number 13 of Matthew Hake, up 16 spots, so almost from the rear to the front. '13 looking pretty strong at the moment as this race continues to go here on lap number 32. Go back with Thomas O'Connor, who has fallen back just a few spots in that number 18 Reese's machine, one of my favorite candies. Going door to door with the number 43, and the 43 goes up and hits the wall, smacks it pretty good, but still keeps it going. Go back here with the 6, as he's definitely in traffic now. Got them new tires, came in for that pit stop, so he would have felt left out. Maybe feels that getting out there and he can make his way through, but working his way through the field can always be difficult. Always trying to make them decisions, be patient, and just work your way methodically through the field. Doing a pretty decent job so far, as there's 3 wide racing right around him as he's down the inside. A 1 up in the wall, tags it, bounces off, keeps on going. Not quite enough room to pull up behind the number 43, but it is able to come down underneath, maybe try to get that pass done, but the 1 got some momentum here as he's able to move that number 1 Waffle House machine up behind the number 6 and maybe trying to follow him to the front. But a good run so far. Like we said, it's lap number 36. Richard Covington out front with Cody Brewer, Matthew Hake, Thomas O'Connor for your top 4. Alec Lavano in 5 as the field is starting to stretch out just a little bit. See somebody smack the ball back there, and it wasn't Bruce Spencer. I believe it was, I think it was the 54.
Bit of a long flight from France over there at Le Mans all the way to Rockingham, but I am finally here. Finally get to join you here as getting to see what exactly happened there coming out of turn number 2 for the 42. Certainly a big little smack there for Anthony Emerson, but sliding sideways into the pits too. But gonna keep it green here tonight, as looks like you guys are humming right along here, almost a third of the way through this race already here at Richmond under the lights.
Yeah, I mean, obviously an interesting start. A few cautions that plagued the beginning, but you know, that's Richmond. It's a short track, Carl. In my eyes, it's always a short track.
It's under a mile, so I will give it to you. It's the ones that are right at the mile that I question you and scratch my head a little bit. But looks like we got a pretty good battle here for the lead. Covington in that beautiful Reese's Chips Ahoy at the top of the track, and the 12 of Cody Brewer down there on the bottom trying to get around him, and Matthew Hake right up there as well. 3-car battle at the front. Thomas O'Connor, Dylan Emerson for your top 5, as Emerson now moves into 4th position. Handler, Kyle Emerson, Bice, Luno, and Wells for your top 10. Excuse me, but good showing out here for the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing League. Almost around 20 cars here in attendance, but I don't see the 5 of Dylan Jacobs out there, so missing only about 18 cars started the field.
Well, he had some issues so far tonight, so finds himself behind the pit wall and getting some repairs. One of the cars, even seen him, I think he had himself worked up from the get-go. Carl, I seen him in the chat saying that tonight was going to be an interesting one, and I think he meant that he didn't care for this track, and I don't blame you, Dylan. I don't like this track either. Richmond overall actually isn't too bad. I've been on a lot worse short tracks. Carl's put me through some pretty unique car track combos that were free and very short, and I think I got dizzy and sick on a few of them. They were so small, like there was no relief on turning. But another caution will fly here as Anthony Emerson gets into it here on lap number 43. And we'll see what happened here. Back with Anthony, we'll catch what happened. It looks like so. I mean, we just seen him have problems coming down in the pits and just coming out of turn number 4, just getting sideways, locking it up, and yep, still on the raceway there, and with right there in front of Barney. Barney's like, no, 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 caution. So I guess, you know, we had one earlier. That should have been a caution. It was like 3 or 4 cars, Tiffany Ellis being one of them, and no caution. It was on the race surface and everything.
Well, I mean, you know, when I know Barney falls asleep sometimes up there in the stand, but you know, when you get a car sliding sideways and not sure if maybe Anthony Emerson kind of stuck his head out the window. Hey, look down here, throw a caution. So we got a caution out here on the track, and going to give a chance for everyone to come down pit road. Looks like everyone is going to do so. I think Tiffany Ellis going to stay out there, maybe try and get a lap back here from the field. Actually, might have been the lucky dog as well, as Tiffany's going to fly by the camera there. But again, some really good paint schemes, and especially when you see them here at night, love to see these paint schemes shine at night. I know some good spec mapping there on the 21, your leader Richard Covington, but a lot of these cars just really look good under the lights. To see the Blue Chew number 81, even a good looking car right there with the little bit of spec mapping there on the number itself. So love to see all the creativity, whether it's from these drivers, whether it's from paint shops that they work with, or even just getting the paint straight from Training Paints. It's love that goes into a lot of these paint schemes.
Yeah, I dabble a little bit. Took me a long time to figure out, because it's all self-taught. Wasn't anything I ever, went to school for, or somebody really kind of showed me, a YouTube video here, YouTube video there, and many hours of just toying around with one paint. My first paint took me about 18 hours, and it was pretty generic. But I still have pictures of it somewhere, I think, on my computer. But definitely not like some of these painters that are out there. I'm pretty simple when it comes to mine, and I tried to get elaborate. I did learn how to spec map. I know how to I like pull out decals and make stuff flat black or chrome and stuff like that. And it is challenging. It just is very time consuming, since it's not like something I do every single day. But caution flag out here at lap 47. You've seen pretty much the whole field come in here, and that's going to put Cody Brewer back up front here. Been running up towards the front for the most of the night. You can see he's up 2 spots, so starting in P number 3. But look at Matthew Hake up 17 spots, currently on the outside, and at number 13. Biggest mover of the race so far. So having a great race so far, and that number 13. Pace car is in, getting ready to go back to green as Barney waves the green flag, and the 12 takes off down to the inside. Cody Brewer getting the small advantage. Dylan Emerson having a lot of laps led here early, but you see the cars overdriving turn number 1, getting up towards that wall. That's instantly going to put the 13 back to the field. Maybe got some damage trying to let cars go by and keep this thing green, but definitely slow and off the pace for that number 13.
Yeah, not sure what happened. Maybe just
he's got a black. He's got a black flag. He's got a black flag.
It does have a black flag, and we got a caution here on the speedway on the front stretch. I was kind of wondering what was going on with the standings to begin with, because I seen the 21 of Richard Covington go all the way to the back of the field after he came out of the pits. Not sure why, but right there you see what brought out this caution. The 18 of Thomas O'Connor getting loose and getting into the side of the 31 there of is it the 81?
The 91, I think.
The 91.
Yeah, there's
something
the
more. The 91 there of Ron Milliman. Yeah, there you go. The 81 of Austin Wells getting involved in this one. The 42 getting a piece as well. So quite a few cars getting lumped up in this one. You see Richard Covington, your early leader, has to take to the wall, scrape it a little bit to get on by. But going to bring us under another caution here as we get closer to the midway point. I don't know if we'll see too many cars coming right back down pit lane, other than ones that need to get some repairs. Yeah,
there's some of them that got major repairs. The hood kind of flapping. Got that mulligan in the side pocket. It's going to go ahead and grab some tires here for the number 81 and then come back out. So Blue Chew in and out, at least the right side tires here, and get back out on the track. So with the drivers, obviously having fast repairs is always kind of nice. That, when you're in a more beginner-friendly league where everybody's out there learning and racing around each other, and just trying to get them out here each and every week and do the best they can. And these short tracks aren't not easy by any means. You'd think it would be easy because you just have to turn left. It's really not. Like I said, I have experience in these cars and a lot of short tracks. Just I don't care for them. So that's what makes it, I guess, interesting and kind of funny. But Barry out there saying, "Hang in there, number one." Of Kent Bice, as he has made his way back up into the top 5 there in that Waffle House machine here. Currently sitting in P number 3, so doing a pretty decent job. Dylan Emerson and Kyle Emerson are going to occupy that front row, though. So the 6 and the 60 will be restarting this thing here. Not this time by, maybe next time by, as the lights are still on the pace car. The other Emerson is back towards the back of the number 42. It does look like he's behind the wall here, maybe parking it for the evening. So 42 off the track there for Haley, but obviously Michael Garcia rooting on Spencer, and where is Spencer now? He's in P number 6 and at number 43. So let's get somebody out there. I love to see who's out there supporting their race fans. And this, I could call out to say, even as a beginner league, plenty of fans out there supporting people, learning how to do this little niche of a hobby that we have here on iRacing, and to see what kind of troubles and trials they have to go to get a decent finish and have some fun for the evening.
Well, we talked about paint schemes earlier. I got 2 things to mention. First of all, the Texas Roadhouse paint scheme. That's where I got to spend my birthday this past week.
Yeah.
And Texas Roadhouse, certainly my pick for the best place to celebrate and get a dinner. But I gotta say that one for Kent Bice, I'm not sure if any Waffle House has ever been that clean. That's a clean looking Waffle House paint scheme. It certainly doesn't represent the brand, I don't think, as well, since it's so clean. Maybe I know I'm here late, so maybe brushed up with Dylan Emerson and the Gain paint scheme and cleaned that thing up a little bit there in the meantime. But you got the chips, this paint scheme out there. All these paint schemes are making me hungry, but like the 43 of Bruce Spencer hungry for the the inside wall on the backstretch, and it's gonna bring it. Looks like it didn't show up on my side here. Yeah, it is gonna bring out another caution here as we are gonna get to the halfway point under this caution. We'll take a look at what happened. Looks like maybe just losing it by himself out of the corner.
Yeah, just that rear stepping
and I think
out.
Stepped out quick.
Just stepped out. You can see that his front tires just kind of cocked to the right, trying to save it, but decides to lock it up there, tagging the wall just a little bit. So hopefully that 43 machine will be all right to get back out there and keep going. It's really troublesome when they really get them black flags or them meatballs here. It does look like Thomas O'Connor with a meatball there on the Oreo Reese's machine. I'm gonna go ahead, looks like put that car on the hauler here for tonight. So another one bites it here tonight. We do have, let's see, Matthew Hake there with a black flag. I'm not quite sure for what, but maybe coming in when he wasn't supposed to. And if you do that, when you come back out, they tell you to go back to the end of the longest line. So maybe not such a bad thing, especially if you're having troubles with your car, and so you decide to bring it in here early. But we're on lap number 57 of 120, so we're about to hit that halfway mark here. So plenty of racing still remaining here at Richmond, and now that the driver's got some time out there, still figuring out that throttle control, Carl, coming out of some of them corners.
Yeah, hopefully we can get some green flag laps here in the second half of the race. As you see Hake coming down to pit road, it's not going to clear that penalty. It has to be done under green flag conditions. And I know you said it again that you come down on at the wrong time and it gives you an end of the line. But I've seen it give a stop and go penalty as well. So it all depends on I don't know if it's maybe lap cars if they come down at the wrong time is when it gives it to them, or what the case is. I feel like I need to dig into to black flags to see what the heck is going on with them, when they come out, why they come out, what you get for what, when it comes to it's a penalties, just to understand the whole system a little bit better. But out front, it is 2 Emersons, so there's 2 out of 3 left for Haley out there. Dylan Emerson in the lead, Kyle Emerson in second place, Kent Bice, Cody Brewer for your top 4, Richard Covington rounding out that top 5 as he's made his way back through the field here pretty quickly in that 21. Kelly Akron, Will O'Connor, Alec Luno, Cody Handler, and Josh Duncan for your top 10. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, as we're going to be back up to full throat next week. As Sunday, we will start up with the 191 Motorsports for another season. Obviously, on Monday nights, we got the Hold Your Brakes Academy. Tuesday is the Core Xfinity. On Wednesday is here tonight. We have the CSRL GT series right before we come over here to the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing series. And then on Thursday, we have another doubleheader with the Virtual Velocity Racing and the Core GT. But we are back to racing here at Richmond, as a great restart there for the 6 of Dylan Emerson out to the lead. Kent Bice in second place. Looks like a bit of a wide run there for Kyle Emerson. Going to keep it off the wall. Lose 1 spot here to the 1. Looks like Richard Covington and the inside as Emerson trying to save it, and a heck of a job saving it there for Kyle Emerson. Going to lose all of those spots and fall to the back, as looked like Covington got into the side of him heading into the corner. But that could have been a lot worse for a lot of drivers, including the 60. But we stay green here at Richmond. Oh, not front long.
Yeah, another crash here back with Kelly Akron, and we'll see what happens. I've seen it just in the corner of the screen before they disappear, and you can see a little wiggle there down on the bottom. And the 91 just touching Kelly Akron. Just again, that's the second time that they hit 31, catching the left rear corner of a car and knocking them loose there, and that's going to go ahead and trap the 31 up there as well. So that's Austin Walls, I believe. That's going to be Walls, that one. Yes. I just wanted to
the 81. Yeah. Yep, 81 involved right there at the end. But yeah, it all started from the 91 there of the 31 getting in to the back. Am I losing it here again?
I think it's.
Is it the 91?
I think it's.
Yeah, it's a 91. Yeah, the 91. Yeah, the 91 there. Ron Millum, just from a distance here, gets screwed up, but it is. It is Ron Millum getting into the back there of Kelly Akron, and dare I say, putting a little cinnamon butter on the buns of Kelly Akron, getting him turned around there into the corner. Tasty, but not so much for Kelly Akron in this one, as it's going to bring out another caution. But Dylan Emerson is going to be your leader. Maybe a little help there for Kyle Emerson, as he can rejoin this field and try and work his way back up to the front. You see, look like Matthew Hake coming out of the pits, I believe, serving his penalty. As I don't see any more black flags on the tracker right now. So we'll get you back live here, and we'll get ready for another restart, as we're officially in the second half of this race.
Yeah, just shout out obviously there for Emma Coon says that the Waffle House car scheme was done by himself from Bandit Customs. So hey, maybe if somebody's looking for a nice paint scheme, you look up that one of Kent Bice there, and they can hook you up with the Bandit Customs and get yourself a nice livery for one of these cars out there. So good looking Waffle House, better than any Waffle House that I've seen, especially down in my area. I think there's a Waffle House every mile, Carl. I think they're competing with Dollar General.
I think I'm going to need to see some syrup dripping down the side of that thing, or something that. I mean, then again, maybe the sticky part of that Waffle House car is the tires. We'll see if he sticks out there and has a good run out here tonight. But either way, it's got to be sticky somewhere on that number 1 for sure. But it looks like we're going to get ready for another restart here, and we'll get these drivers back underway as are we live here or not?
Yes.
So showing as replay
Yep, well,
for me, not sure. There we go. That is it.
Might want to get rid of your old. You don't got too many HUDs up there.
Yeah, we're good now as we're getting ready for the restart here. Dylan Emerson is going to be your control car. Kent Bice, Richard Covington, Cody Brewer, Will O'Connor for your top 5. Cody Handler, Alec Luno, Josh Duncan, Bruce Spencer, and Ron Millum for your top 10 as pace car will make that left-hand turn here once again. And Jimmy, why don't we crank it up for everyone out there in Sierra Nation? Give everyone a little love to hear it.
Love to hear it. drivers definitely have their hands full here tonight with Richmond, as the short track is choosing to be challenging for some of these drivers. And you can see the drivers still trying to work that throttle, losing the rear end, coming off the corners, and sending themselves down to the infield, or not to the infield, but in the inside wall, and getting some damage, and some drivers overdriving the corners just a little bit, pushing them cars wide. And you can only do a few things at once in these cars, and you should only be doing one at a time. So that's, I guess, the biggest thing that it kind of plagues oval drivers, and is that if you're on the gas going in the corner, your car is going to be tight and push out in the corner. If you're on the gas too early, obviously you can spin around. So you don't want to be doing too many things at once, because there's only so much grip in the tires. Even with the cooler track temperatures here tonight, the cars really do have a hard time being able to turn left. So nice wide track here at Richmond, and just a lot of these drivers, some of these drivers can just back up their braking point just a little bit earlier and get that car to turn in that direction, and then just ease on the throttle for some good acceleration out of the corners, and they'd find themselves putting in some better lap times. I know that was one of the things when I started racing, was when you're doing these ovals, it's so easy to overdrive the entry of the corners, and you're wondering why your front tires will go a lot, is because you're just overworking those tires and burning them up, getting them hot to the point where there's no grip in them anymore. So it's very hard for these cars to turn. So that's pretty much my observation up here in the booth, and we're seeing many oval races. You can spot kind of some of the mistakes that could help some drivers out. So back up your corners just a little bit, drivers, and let that car rotate just a little bit longer and easy with the throttle. A lot of drivers, some drivers it's a bad habit of what they call it light switching, like on and off of the throttle, and that doesn't work very well with some of these cars, and that's when you can find that rear end going around. But we're on lap 77 now, and it's still Dylan Emerson out front with Kent Bice. With a nice start up front here as they head down into turn one. They are too wide still. Dylan Emerson with a nice little lead there. Going to get out front as they battle there for P number 2, the 1 and the 21. And then the 24 working his way up there, as well as the 19 is on the outside. So getting a little better run here. Let's get some green flag laps in, drivers, and put on a great show for your fans out there, that they come by here and watch. And just another race here. Still plenty of racing here, but the one's going to get on the throttle a little bit too hard. Kent Bice is going to go down to the inside and tag that inside wall. Going to bring out another caution.
I was going to say, it looked like another car getting involved there as well. Not sure if that's the 45. Yeah, Luno getting involved as well. It looked like the same thing for him, as just getting a little bit too much throttle. And I think, Jimmy, that it's, as we've seen it now time and time again, coming out of turn number 2, one of the problems here is this being a short track, but it's a tri-oval short track. So it's not, just even, exits out of these corners. Out of turn number 2, it's kind of, you're in the corner and then it abruptly ends as a straightaway. So it's not like it's an easy transition. So trying to figure out when to pick up that throttle is really, just misleading these drivers out here so far tonight. You go to a track like Bristol, there's plenty of banking, and then it kind of falls away, and you have the end of the corner. Even you look at a track like Martinsville, it's a flat track, kind of like here at Richmond, but you understand what you're getting. It's still somewhat of a smooth transition from corner to straightaway. Here out of turn number 2, it's kind of a little bit more abrupt, where the corner kind of ends and then straightaway starts, and it's catching these drivers off guard. I mean, there's not that many tri-oval short tracks out there. You look at Richmond here. Another one you can think of is maybe out there at Iowa is another one, but Iowa, it's got plenty more banking to help you rotate and get on that throttle, exit the corners. But here tonight, turn number 2, it's no matter what cars are out there, no matter what kind of skill level, turn number 2 is kind of tough here at Richmond.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. It's like I said, it's a fine line, being able to get in that throttle, you think you're good to go, and you try to, finish with that throttle and get it down to the floorboards, so you can get as much speed as possible, and you essentially you're spinning that tire up, and you're heating it up. It spins the rear end around, and you're just hurting yourself, or you're constantly trying to battle, trying to save it. So these drivers are obviously learning that here tonight, and they'll be able to take the with races like this, Carl. Some people will get frustrated. We had so many cautions, blah blah blah. But you can take away a lot of good things, a lot of good learning points here, especially with a bunch of drivers that are still learning their racecraft to get faster. It's just learning the ins and outs of the car, and knowing that maybe next time, like, I did this, it doesn't work. And then, once you do it a few times and you make that mistake, you really start picking up on it, and you have to make a change, or you're going to continue to make those same exact mistakes. But here tonight, we're already on here on lap 83. They've had some good little runs here, 10-15 laps to the point, and now obviously making decisions when they come in the pits and all that stuff. We're coming down to more of a critical part of the race here with the cautions coming in and out here. When do you come in? Do you need to come in? Do you want to give up track position, or for some newer tires, or do you just want to keep going and try to get this thing finished? But pace car is in one more time here. The 6 will lead him down out of turn number 4, get on that loud pedal down the front stretch. He's going to cross the start-finish line there at P number 1 again. So another great start for the 6 of 21, getting back up there. You see drivers just really overdriving turn number 1, trying to get everything they can, but tagging that wall, which will slow you up really quick there. So, but there you get a bunch of drivers bunching up. 43, the wall again.
For now, certainly some damage.
81 to 13.
We're going to have another incident here. Looks like Matthew Hake got shot down through the grass. Take a look back and see what exactly happened. But several cars up into the wall in turns 3 and 4. And I'm not sure if that carried over onto the front stretch. Well, it looks like 3 wide. No.
I think it was the 91.
Yeah,
91 you can see is loose right there. Yeah, 91 loose, getting into the 13. Matthew going down into the grass. 81 spinning around up against the wall. Brings out the caution here on lap 85.
As Jimmy mentioned, kind of chugging along through this race, getting almost to the 2/3 mark here. We're up at lap number 90, so a lot of these drivers coming in here for what could be their final pit stops of the race. Not really sure, because we haven't had a green flag run to let us know how far they can get on fuel. But a lot of drivers coming into the pits, but 7 drivers staying out, and that being Cody Brewer, Kyle Emerson, Austin Wells, Chase Bullard, Tiffany Ellis, and Kent Bice. Actually 6 drivers staying out on the track, other than Thomas O'Connor is going around here to get his lucky dog. One of his laps back here. He's still several laps down. But I don't really necessarily blame these drivers right here sticking out on the track and keeping that track position, because we're having trouble getting a full lap green here when we go back to green. So there's no sense of giving up track position for fuel, for tires, for anything. If you can stretch it out, and make it on a few more cautions, why not stay out there?
I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I was just in not too long ago. I mean, a lot of these drivers were in here on in the 70s. Wells being the only one that was in on lap number 62, so maybe some older tires, but gonna take this a time and advantage to get a bunch of positions here. But Ballard and Ellis are in on lap 80. Bice was in on 79, and then you have everybody that came in. You got Emerson, Covington, O'Connor, Handler, Hake, Milano, Duncan, Akron, and Malam all came in here at lap 86. So 15 drivers still kind of out there making things going. Got 15 drivers on the lead lap. Spencer would love another few cautions. If he can stay out of trouble, could find himself back on that lead lap and maybe be able to get a couple more spots. We're only on lap 89, just starting lap 89 now, so still have quite a few little laps to go here, about a third of the race, and you know, cautions I think for some of these drivers up front that are wanting, and hopefully it will catch up some of them faster drivers that came in the pits to maybe get new tires. But those drivers that decided to get tires are going to be a little bit faster, Carl, and they have to be patient. Even though they were up front before, they just need to be patient in order to work their way around some of these cars with a little bit older tires in order to get back up to what they were doing. But pace car is in, and now Cody Brewer will start them off here with Kyle Emerson on that outside.
We are back to racing here at Richmond, and I think patience needs to be had by everyone in the field. But you see Matthew Hake, big move to the bottom there underneath the 24 of Will O'Connor as they head to the backstretch. A few scrapes on the wall. We'll see if we can get a full lap in here as they head off into turns 3 again, and see the drivers spreading out almost 3 wide again, but we'll see another green flag. So hopefully they got some of these cobwebs shaken out here, and we can get some green flag racing as Cody Brewer shot out of a cannon. He is out there already to a half a second lead over Kyle Emerson. Tiffany Ellis battling with Austin Wells and getting the spot there for third. Chase Bullard rounding out your top 5. Kent Bice trying to work his way back up through the field. Dylan Emerson, Richard Covington, Matthew Hake, and Will O'Connor for your top 10.
Yeah, you can see Dylan Emerson taking his time, using his new tires to run that inside and get by a bunch of positions here. Now coming up on that back bumper of Tiffany Ellis that's running in P number 3 currently, trying to get the 6 back to the front here. It's been the fast car here pretty much all night. Obviously he was on the pole and looking to maybe get back up there and win this thing here tonight, but has to be patient, has to work with the rest of these cars. But they're 3 wide going down to turn number 3.
And holding on to it and doing a good job there as the 6, 13, and 81. And now looks like we're going to be 3 wide again. No, Hake's going to back out of it as the 13 trying to make his way back up through the field with his new tires as well. A big scrape of the wall for the 81. Going to slide back a few spots. Will stay green here as he kept it straight. But out front, Cody Brewer still leading the way over Kyle Emerson. Tiffany Ellis in third. I want to thank our viewers out there once again. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that SERN has to offer. As we do have trying to see if we missed one thing for this week. I am seeing the Atlanta Under the Lights logo. Clearly, we're not at Atlanta this week, but we are here at Richmond, and it is Cody Brewer leading the way here, but a good battle here as battle for third now. The 6 on the inside of the 88.
I got Atlanta underneath the lights. That definitely doesn't need to be there, does it? Oh, my bad. There we go.
Well, either way, we get a nice little run here so far.
Hold on to it.
Hake slides across the side there of the 88. Great save there by Ellis, but going to get eaten up here. Already passed by the 54. The one of Bice going to the inside. Looks like Ellis going to hold off for now. Battle at the front as we've got a new leader as the 60 of Kyle Emerson now to the point, getting around Cody Brewer.
Yeah, so 60 of Kyle Emerson getting around Cody Brewer, but the caution flag flies here as it looks like Austin Wells was involved in an incident here. We'll check out what happened with that 81.
16 coming up off of the corner onto the front stretch there. Not sure if a netco was involved. It was close to contact regardless, but gets the 81 of Austin Wells sideways on the front stretch. Luckily for the 19, 81 kind of spins backwards, and Cody Handler can get around on the outside, but it's going to bring us under another caution here as we are now going to eclipse 100 laps here in the race. So clicking away here, and that little green flag run really knocked off a bunch of laps. We'll see maybe some more cars coming out of pit road. You see the 60 making a late entry into pit road. The 6 of Emerson, Dylan Emerson that is going to stay out. The 60 of Kyle Emerson into the pits, and we'll see, looks like maybe 5 or 6 drivers into the pits. The rest of them staying out for that track position.
Yeah, this is the end of the race, you know, so looking for that call to, you know, benefit and get any advantages possible. And obviously these 4 drivers that are in, you know, being able to get new tires. We've seen Brewer up front earlier this evening, and Emerson has been right there for the majority of the evening, just being able to get in front there at the end before the caution. But Bullard and Millam coming in to get some probably much needed repairs and maybe some tires and make these, hopefully these last 20 laps go by a little bit smoother for them. But out front is Dylan Emerson. Tiffany Ellis is going to slide back up into P number 2, and we've seen Tiffany kind of I think she's like holding on there. Was in on lap 80, so her tires should be in pretty decent shape, but one of the ones with a little bit older tires up front compared to everybody else. But the caution laps definitely help and can you know, net a good finish here overall for, you know, for a championship run, or at least gain some points on her competitors. So, but Dylan Emerson will lead them around here one more time here. Lights are still in the pace car. It should be off this time by, so that will be 18 laps to go. So when we cross that yellow line, we'll be looking to complete 17 more laps here. Is this thing over? Who do you got to be the winner? Who do you want to win tonight? Give them a shout out in the chat there. As obviously, you guys always do a great job of supporting everybody. So again, thank you. If you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe. Smash that thumb there on the YouTube, and it helps the algorithm here and allows others that are out there in the community to be able to find these videos and see what pit road speed limit racing is all about.
Certainly, Bruce Spencer would like a few more cautions to get back there, but it's going to be, I think, a little bit too big of a margin to fight back at this point. But Dylan Emerson is up there in the lead in the 6. Tiffany Ellis, Kent Bice, Matthew Hake, Richard Covington for your top 5. We'll see who's got the hot shoe tonight as we are down to less than 20 laps to go in this race. Emerson back on the loud pedal, and we are racing again at Richmond.
You see how fast they come down into turn number 1. And you see Brewer trying to use the high line here, and he's going to end up tagging them all just a little bit there, as you can hear the metal scraping. Trying to use that high line, and but caution flag is going to fly here, as it looks like Chase Blard had some sort of issue back here. So another caution out. It's going to chop a few more laps away at the remaining few laps that they have here tonight. So Dylan Emerson liking his chances at the moment, and we'll go ahead and see what happened to the 54, just losing it down on the inside by themselves. No contact with anything.
Another victim, as the 54 is going to be the latest victim here, spinning around and getting it back going here on the backstretch. But again, it's all been throttle management. These cars can be a little finicky when it comes to getting on the throttles, and I heard when we were on board with a couple of the drivers here, they are shifting here tonight, and that can certainly be a big issue as well. You come out of the corner, if you're in a higher gear, it's lower RPMs, and it's not going to kind of jump on you as much. So I know shifting down in those lower gears, going through the corners, is the faster way to get around, but sometimes being safer, just staying in that higher gear is the better way to go. As see the 43 of Spencer getting at least one more lap back to the good here. But we're down to 15 laps to go in this race, and it's Emerson, Dylan Emerson, Bice, Ellis, Covington, and Hake for your top 5. But the way this thing is kind of shaking around here and there, I mean, who knows how this thing is going to finish out, but we got to try and get some green flag laps in to finish this thing out, and at least give all the fans out there a good finish.
Yeah, everybody's looking for that great finish, and the drivers are really trying their darndest to, get in a position to, get as many points here tonight and get a good finish themselves. And like I said, you can't look at this take every race that's obviously you have maybe a few too many cautions and think that it was unsuccessful. There's plenty, especially as young drivers, that you're learning your racecraft, and you know, whether it's your first or second time here at Richmond. But you just need the repetition, the time in the car, know what it feels like to kind of get out there. And it's not just going out there like by yourself and running hot laps, or qualifying laps, or whatever you want to call them. They're just it's not they're fun. You know, you want to try to learn that so you can get a good qualifying, but you need to know how to handle the car in traffic around others. Know where everybody else's braking points are, and everybody is slightly different. And you'd be amazed at what you can pick up from others, and especially being able to drive like this. So everything here is a nice steady learning curve for all these drivers, as we've seen trouble for a lot of drivers in a lot of different areas. So they'll be able to go back and review their replays and see where they can make improvements for the next few upcoming races. But the 6 right now getting ready to lead these drivers down. Pace car's in, and he's going to get back on a loud pedal there as the 6 pulls out in front there, with the 1 right behind Tiffany Ellis in 3rd as they head down through turns 1 and 2.
Well, another thing too to bring up, you mentioned points. Dylan Emerson coming in here as the points leader by 36 points over Thomas O'Connor, who is already done for the night. Kyle Emerson comes in 3rd in the points, but he is back there in 10th position right now. So good points on the line for your points leader, and doing exactly what he needs to do to stretch out this lead, because the season just about over for the boys and girls here at the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing, as we got tonight's race. Next week we will head to the Worldwide Technology Raceway for the House of Horrors scary movie theme night. And I'm sure Jimmy is looking forward to that one. He's certainly this is Jimmy's month to shine here in October for sure. And then Phoenix is going to end it. So after tonight, 2 races left in the season, and if Emerson's able to hold on and get a win here tonight, he takes 1 step closer to that championship.
Yeah, getting closer and closer as I read out the points here at the beginning. So it's definitely races like this, but you need to be consistent. And, you know, I haven't talked about Josh Duncan at all tonight, but started in 6th. He's currently 6th. Just having kind of up and down night, not super fast, but definitely been able to kind of maintain position here with only 8 laps to go. So good drive, nice solid drive there by the 7 Sour Apples machine here tonight. So just it's like I said, it's fun to watch how people start and go. But biggest mover of the race tonight was this man right here, number 13 of Matthew Hake, up 16 spots, currently sitting in P number 3 and trying to get around the Waffle House.
Laps running down here for the series at Richmond, as it is still your leader, Dylan Emerson, really stretching out 1.6 seconds in the lead. Kent Bice is in 2nd, trying to run him down right now, but Emerson has got some good lap times, lap after lap, and it's enough certainly to give him the sizable lead that he's got, and he's not looking back. It's almost at 2 seconds here as we exit out of turn number 3 here one more time, as we're going to have 5 laps left in this race. Certainly a good look at possibly your champion for the season. Still going to get 2 races left, but he's going to have a sizable lead going into those final 2 races, as we have a race. Bice from 2nd place. Do we have another incident out of turn number 2?
Yep. Sure
Indeed.
did.
Another one out of 2. A little too goosey on the throttle and down to the inside. Well, I'm kind of surprised it actually, well, there it is. I was wondering why that brought out a caution. That's why, right there as he slides back up the track. Almost gets Tiffany Ellis, does get the 7 of Josh Duncan. And Jimmy, I'm going to blame you for that one. You had to bring up Josh Duncan's name. He was doing fine without his name, take Josh Duncan's name out your mouth. All right. It did not work out for him at all.
I can't help it. I mean, you know, I'm trying to give the man the props for doing well tonight, and you know, no fault of his own, just wrong spot, wrong time. One coming up and tagging the 7, putting some damage on that 7 machine. So hopefully he can hang on to it here tonight. So a few more laps to go here. It's going to be one of our first green-white checkers here as the field goes by. So been a challenging night out there. Welcome, Mike Casey. It's just been a challenging night for these drivers on you know, yet another short track. You know, we're here at Richmond, of course, but it's not the smallest of tracks, but it's definitely, it can be challenging for these cars that can go so fast. And we've seen it here tonight coming out of turn number 2. Just drivers just kind of a little bit too much with that throttle and that rear end coming right around. So it is what it is. You just got to learn how to handle it. So but there is some drivers doing very well here tonight. Dylan Emerson has been a very dominant car all night long, and at number 6 started from the pole and currently in first, looking to walk away the winner here tonight. Matthew Hake up 17 spots, so coming from pretty near the back of the pack to so far in a podium position. 21 Richard Covington has been up there in that Chips Ahoy machine pretty much all evening as well. Just kind of fell back just a little bit. There's a couple scrapes of the wall, a pit stop and whatnot. Tiffany Ellis hanging on it there in P number 4, deciding to stay out and stretch them tires, probably the longest of most of the drivers, as she was in on lap number 80, as you can see up there on the tower there. So hopefully she can hold on. It does look like that she should be able to at least get there in that at least the top 10, maybe even a top 5 here, depending on what happens and how anxious them drivers are behind that number 88. But good run here tonight. Lights are off on the pace car. They are heading into turn number 3. That pace car will be coming in at any moment.
Yeah, this is our one and only chance at the green-white checkered. So this is the last restart of the race. Hopefully we get it back to the white and the checkered, as the green flag is out and we are racing back to turn number 1. Green, white, checkered overtime here at Richmond as we head into turn number 1. The 6 has the lead. The 13 hanging tough and hanging close. Not over just yet, as we'll head off into turn number 3 side by side, as Tiffany Ellis going to get a bump from behind up into the wall. We will see the white flag. One more lap to go, as this thing will end under green. Does anybody have anything for the 6? Richard Covington back into second place, and the 21 tries to take a lunge at the 6. Not going to happen. Hard into the wall. That's going to give a chance back to the 13 to get second place, but no one is going to catch the 6 out of turn number 3. Dylan Emerson, your winner here at Richmond. Great battle to the line. Second is going to go to Richard Covington. Third to Matthew Hake. Looks like Kyle Emerson going to get another Emerson up there in the top 5, finishing in 4th. Cody Brewer in 5th. Heck of a finish here tonight. I know we had quite a few cautions here tonight, but it ended up giving us a pretty good finish here at the end, and run back to the line. But I don't think anybody had anything for that 6 here tonight.
6 was running out there at a pretty unmatched pace, and was able to make pit stops and work their way back to the field. So just doing one heck of a job here tonight, and now out there celebrating, burning it down here on the front stretch as everybody is finishing up. So great job, I think, for the field. It is a difficult track, and I'm sure they've gotten some much-needed education of short tracks. And this Gen 6 car that I so hard really love to see out on the track. So great run here tonight by Pit Road Speed Limit Racing, and obviously just another fantastic night of racing, car, just all in all.
Yeah, absolutely. As Emerson certainly burning it down here on the front stretch, well deserved, and I'm sure Haley is out there happy for one of the Emersons getting the top spot here tonight, but 2 Emersons in the top 5. So a great night for for her, and certainly for the drivers as well. I want to thank everyone for tuning in here once again. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, but we'll get our top 3 in here for their well-deserved interviews, and we're not going to waste any time. Looks like everybody is ready to get those interviews underway, and we're going to start with our third place finisher here tonight. If my mouse decides to work, there we go. Third place finisher tonight is going to go to the 13 of Matthew Haig. Matthew, heck of a battle between you and Covington to the line, and really on the last couple laps as you're both trying to fight each other while the 6 drives away from you. I know a little bit of a caution fest here tonight, but you survive and you get yourself a podium at the end of the night.
Yep. It was a hell of a race. I spent some of the time in the back, a couple laps down, because I kept on getting black flags.
Well, it worked out. You got those black flags cleared at the right time and get yourself up here for a chance at the win. I mean, do you think if anything plays out differently, or you maybe an extra restart there, you had anything for the 6, or you think a top 3 here was going to be your best shot?
Top 3 was going to be my best shot. I had nothing for the 6 car tonight.
Well, either way, congrats on the top 3 here tonight, third place. We'll let you go celebrate, but before you do, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Well, first off, all the other drivers. It's been a lot of fun racing with these guys night in, night out. And I also want to thank the race winner, Dylan, for helping me get better and not wreck people.
Well, you got yourself up here for top 3, so congrats again. We'll let you go celebrate, and we'll see you next week at Worldwide Technology.
Yep, see you next week.
That's your third place finisher, the 13 of Matthew Haig. Second place here tonight is going to go to Doughboy, the 21 of Richard Covington Jr.
Hey, Richard, it's Jimmy and Carl in the booth. You copy?
There we go.
What's up, guys? There we go. I just out there, and you were up there up front for a good majority of the evening, and you found yourself maybe back towards in the back of the pack after the pit stop. But overall, I think a pretty good run here for the number 21. Give us a little rundown on how it was out there, and we know it was kind of you had maybe a few more cautions as you would like, but overall, you still walked away with a great finish.
Man, it was like fighting a war that we couldn't win, but we somehow got up there and got in second place anyway. So it was one heck of a fight.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a tough battle, out there, and when you get all them cautions, what's going through your mind? Like, should I go in? Like, how are you deciding like when you should pit, and like, and you want to give up that track position?
Honestly, the way I do it, I let Thomas just tell me, hey, if you feel like you need a pit, just go ahead and pit, and I let him make the choices, decisions, and all that.
It's always helpful to have a helping hand out there to, help you make those decisions for sure. But the decisions were obviously pretty good here tonight, allowing you to be in that position to get a great finish here tonight. So from CRN, we want to say congratulations, and from all the fans out there, and give you some time for any shouts you might have in that number 21.
Yeah, first off, Cody, the league, they do great. Thomas, Josh, they had it rough, but they were doing good. So, mom and dad, they're watching right now. So, and always you guys. So that's all I got.
Well, we really appreciate the shout outs, and hopefully you got a good cold glass of milk for them Chips Ahoy here tonight to go celebrate. We'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
As your second place finisher here tonight, Doughboy, the 21, Richard Covington Jr. Top spot here tonight is going to go to Dylan Emerson, driver of the 6. Looked like fastest car out here tonight. Put it on the pole. Back in the field a little bit with all the cautions and the pit stops and everything like that. But at the end, it seemed like you were going to be just kind of unstoppable here tonight. Had a few restarts you had to deal with, but you were the control car and you just stepped away every time.
Yeah, it was really nice to actually finally have a dominating race for once. So that was real nice.
It's not easy to do that here at Richmond as well. I mean, certainly the cautions really play a big part, but it seemed like most of the cautions, if not just about damn near all of them, coming out of turn number 2, it is really just a tough spot to get that power down. Were you having issues yourself?
Actually, no. My issue was turn 4. I had one issue in turn 2 being on the bottom, but I was able to save it. But for me, running by myself, coming out of 4 was where I was having the struggle bus.
So what was it about tonight's race that just felt right to you here tonight to put on a dominant performance? Was it the track? Was it the setup? Just everything kind of felt nice for you tonight?
I think it was just the way the fixed setup worked with the air temp and the tires. I think it just was the perfect amount of turn in the corners that I like, and I was able to rotate a lot better than most people and not rotate too much coming off.
Well, listen, you came in here tonight as the points leader, 36-point lead, and it's just going to stretch out even more after tonight's win. So looking at the final 2 races of the season, going to have a nice points lead going into Worldwide Technology and then the finale at Phoenix. How do you feel about your chances?
I'm really hoping to lock it up at my home track with Worldwide Technology Raceway. That's a goal to do now.
Well, I'm sure that's going to be another track where you're going to be shifting. I heard you guys shifting out there quite a bit here tonight. It certainly could have been the reason some of the drivers got a little bit too much throttle out of turn number 2 and spin it a couple times. But it's not exactly the easiest track there worldwide next week.
No, we'll definitely be shifting there too. I was shifting tonight. Some people were, some people weren't. I don't think Cody was, but my brother Kyle was shifting as well. So next week, I'm looking forward to pretty much about the same kind of track here. Hard on the brake in the corners, downshifting, and hopefully we'll be just as fast.
Well, we'll see if you can do what you said and lock up the championship next week. But in the meantime, take some time to celebrate this late season win. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
My little niece turned 1 today. I just want to say happy birthday to Livy.
Absolutely, buddy, and happy birthday from the CRN booth as well. We're going to get Kyle here in a moment, so he can do the same thing. But once again, congrats on the win here tonight. Before we let you, before we see you get the championship, we'll see if you can get at least 1 or 2 more wins in the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
That's your winner here tonight, the 6 of Dylan Emerson, getting the win here tonight. We got one more, as mentioned. We're going to bring in Kyle Emerson. Not a bad finish for you after everything that went on here tonight. We've seen that 60 sideways probably one too many times compared to what you wanted here tonight. But ultimately, you finish up here in 4th. But yeah, as we just talked with Dylan and we mentioned here earlier, want to give you some time for a shout out that you have here tonight for your daughter.
Yes, I really appreciate it. Hopefully, if he ever watches this, she can see that every time you get knocked down, get back up because you can still recover. 4th place ain't a bad finish, but happy birthday, beautiful girl. Turned 1 today.
Absolutely, and like I said, happy birthday from the CRN booth to you guys over there, to Livy Emerson, and hopefully. Maybe now that she turned 1, she can start seeing her dad a little bit more up here at the top. I mean, it looked like you had a pretty good fast car out here tonight to maybe challenge for a podium. I mean, certainly a car that you can pick out pretty easily. I know you and the 19 out there having the pretty much the same paint schemes, but that Pokemon paint scheme, you can't really miss it out there.
Yeah, we after all those cautions, we were like, man, the Pokeball does look like a target on our back. So, I mean, it didn't really affect Cody, but for me, I got wrecked like 5 times.
Well, you certainly almost caught them all here tonight. You get yourself a 4th place. So, want to, like I said, wanted to give you a chance to get up here and say happy birthday to your daughter. And before we let you go, anybody else you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Without Dylan, I probably wouldn't be doing this. He's been that older brother that puts me to be better than him, and I'm better than him in almost everything but this, as it shows. But we're going to our home track next week, so hopefully we'll do good.
Yeah, exactly. He's looking forward to it. I'm sure you are as well. So congrats again on the comeback here and getting a 5th place let you go celebrate with your daughter, and we'll see you next week at Worldwide Technology.
Thank you, guys.
That is your fourth place finisher here tonight, the 60 of Kyle Emerson. That is going to put a wrap on it here for us tonight for CRN and the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing Series, as again, only 2 races left in the season. Worldwide Technology up on the docket next week, and then we'll finish out the season at Phoenix. So hopefully join us for the 2 season finales here, but for myself and Jimmy here from the Richmond Raceway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.